all know Stranger Things has way too many dimensions going on. Like, we're bouncing between the regular world, the upside down, whatever weird void Eleven goes to when she puts on that blindfold, and probably 3 other places I'm forgetting. Half the time, I'm watching and genuinely thinking, wait, where are we right now? So I went down a rabbit hole, rewatched the whole thing, read some theories, made some notes. Turns out there are actually 8 distinct realms in this universe. 8. Which honestly explains why it's so confusing. I'm gonna break down all of them, what they are, how they connect, and why it actually matters for understanding the story. So let's get into it. Alright, starting with the obvious one, there's just regular Earth. 1983 Hawkins, Indiana, a small town about 80 miles from Indianapolis. Hawkins isn't real, by the way. I know some of you already know this, but just in case you were planning a road trip, save yourself the gas money. At first, everything here seems totally normal. Cold War tensions, bad haircuts, arcades, the works. Just standard 1980s small-town America. But Hawkins is sitting on top of something. There are these natural weak spots in reality underneath the town, like fault lines, but for dimensions instead of earthquakes. And when Hawkins' lab started messing around with stuff they didn't understand, they basically ripped those weak spots open. That's where things stop being normal. Okay, so the big one, the Upside Down. Most people think it's just an evil parallel universe, a dark mirror of our world. For a while, even the characters thought that. Turns out, they were so wrong. The Upside Down didn't always exist. It was created in 1983 when Dr. Brenner, our so-called Papa, forced Eleven to make psychic contact with the Demogorgon. When she touched it, reality ripped open, a gate formed, and inside that gate, a copy of Hawkins appeared, but frozen at that exact moment, November 6, 1983. Everything's there. The houses, the roads, the arcade, even Jonathan's posters are on his wall, but it's all decaying. Covered in vines, weird organic slime, floating spores everywhere. The sky's dark, the air's cold, and there's this constant low rumble like the whole place is breathing. But here, physics still mostly works. There's gravity, sound, some light. You can even breathe the air for a bit, which is weird when you think about it. So yeah, it looks like a parallel dimension, another version of Earth running alongside ours, except that's only part of the story. This is where it gets messy. The Upside Down isn't actually the original realm. It's more like a barrier, a shell between Earth and something way worse. And that something is Dimension X, also called the Abyss. We find this out in Season 4, and honestly, it kind of reframes everything. Turns out the Upside Down is surrounded by this thick organic wall made of exotic matter. If you break through that wall, you reach the Abyss. And the Abyss? It looks nothing like Hawkins. No buildings, no streets, nothing familiar. Just barren ground covered in vines, floating chunks of rock, a blood-red sky with constant storms. Gravity works weird here. Things just float sometimes. This is where the monsters actually come from. Demogorgons, demobats, all of it. Everything here is connected through a hive mind. Every creature, every vine, all linked to this massive living structure called the Mind Layer. It's basically the brain of the entire dimension, controlling everything like some kind of biological server. In 1979, Eleven banished Henry Creel, aka Vecna, into the Abyss. Instead of dying, he merged with the hive mind. He took control of the Mind Flayer, shaped it into that giant spider thing we see, and basically became the ruler of this place. But wait, there's something weird. Humans can breathe normally in the Abyss, which raises the question, is this even another dimension, or just a distant planet connected to Earth through a wormhole? The show doesn't really answer that, but the fact that the air, gravity, and physics all work normally makes you wonder if it's not another dimension at all. Maybe it's just somewhere incredibly far away in space. I don't know, that's just me thinking out loud. Okay, this one's different because we actually haven't seen it yet, but there's a theory based on the finale title and hints throughout the show that there's a 4th realm called the Right Side Up. And I think the wormhole connecting Earth and the Abyss works like a tunnel with mirrors on both sides. Earth reflects into the Upside Down, a corrupted, decaying version of Hawkins. So the Abyss would reflect into the Right Side Up, maybe a more structured, organized version of that chaotic wasteland. While the Upside Down is our world twisted and rotting, the Right Side Up might be the Abyss, but cleaner? Ordered? I'm honestly just speculating here. To the creatures living in the Abyss, the Right Side Up might look the same way the Upside Down does to us. Familiar, but deeply wrong. It's symmetry, 2 worlds, 2 reflections, and an unstable bridge connecting them. And that bridge? Yeah, that's where things get really weird. Remember when Eleven blasted Henry Creel into that psychic fight back in 1979? She hit him so hard he got ripped out of reality completely. But he didn't go straight to the Abyss. He fell through something else first. The hellscape. This isn't a place you can actually exist in. It's more like a wound between dimensions. 2 layers of storm clouds, floating jagged rocks, endless red lightning. You're just falling the entire time. Henry fell through this for who knows how long, honestly. The lightning kept hitting him, burning him, twisting his body into something else entirely. This is where Henry Creel became Vecna. Eventually he got spat out into the abyss, but the damage was done. He wasn't human anymore. The hellscape exists in the gap between realities, and it's what happens when space breaks. If you try crossing dimensions without a stable gate, this is what you fall through, and you don't come out the same, or at all really. Alright, this one's different. It's not a physical place, it's inside Vecna's mind, but it can still kill you, which is the terrifying part. The mindscape is shaped by Henry's memories, his trauma, his hatred. Blood-red sky, thick fog, black sludge on the ground, spiders everywhere. Twisted organic structures rising up out of nowhere, and floating in the middle of it all, the ruins of the Creel house, where he murdered his family. Vecna uses this place for two things. One, it's his command center. He controls the hive mind from here, directs the monsters, plans his attacks, like a psychic war room. Two, it's how he kills people. When he targets someone, he pulls their consciousness into the mindscape while their body stays frozen in the real world. Inside, he has complete control. He can warp reality, bring their worst fears to life, drain them until there's nothing left. It's not just a mental space, it's a weapon. And the worst part is, he can make it look like whatever he wants. Your house, your school, your memories. He builds up the trap specifically for you. So, Kamazots is, okay, it's complicated. It's built entirely from Henry Creel's memories. It exists outside normal time and works like a trap for souls. The name comes from a wrinkle in time, a planet controlled by a single evil consciousness. Pretty fitting, honestly. Time doesn't work right here. Victims jump between different years, reliving pieces of Henry's past on loop. In Season 4, Max gets trapped and experiences fragments of his childhood. 1959, 1979, moments from his life playing out around her. The difference between this and the mindscape is subtle but important. The mindscape is Vecna's personal space where he operates and controls things. Kamazots is where he stores his victims. He keeps their souls isolated here, breaking them down, feeding on their suffering. It's a memory loop, a psychological cage. You're stuck in someone else's past, and escaping requires breaking free from the story Vecna's built around you. Max gets out by holding on to her own memories, her own sense of self. She finds weak points in the structure, cracks where his control isn't perfect. Most people don't make it out though. Kamazots is basically Vecna's collection, his gallery of broken minds, and it exists as long as he does. Last one, and honestly, probably the most unsettling. We've covered all these dimensions, Earth, the Upside Down, the Abyss, all of it. They all exist within some kind of cosmic structure, right? But what's outside that structure? The outer void. Here's how we know it's there. A wormhole connecting Earth and the Abyss is surrounded by a barrier made of exotic matter, that organic wall we talked about earlier. In Season 4, when the power source at Hawkins' lab gets damaged, a hole opens in that barrier, and beyond it, nothing. Just complete darkness. A void so absolute it makes the Upside Down look safe by comparison. We don't really know what it is. Could be deep space beyond our universe. Could be subspace, some lower dimension beneath reality itself. Could be literal nothingness, like the absence of existence. Whatever it is, it surrounds everything else. It's the darkness at the edge of the map. And if the barriers fail completely, that void could come rushing in and erase everything. Just gone. It's the real threat when you think about it. The final layer, maybe even something Vecna doesn't fully understand. Because while he's playing God in his little psychic realms, he's still just existing inside a much larger, much more fragile structure. And that structure could break. So that's all 8 realms. Number 1, Earth, the normal world. Number 2, the Upside Down, the dark reflection. Number 3, Dimension X, the Abyss, the true source. Number 4, the right side up, the mirror theorized. Number 5, the hellscape, the interdimensional wound. Number 6, the mindscape, Vecna's psychic realm. Number 7, Kamazots, the memory prison. And number 8, the outer void, true oblivion. What makes Stranger Things so confusing is that it's not just one alternate dimension, it's 8 different layers, all connected to each other, and most of them weren't even supposed to exist until someone ripped a hole in reality. Now you know where everything actually is when you're watching. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. I got a whole list of confusing shows to tackle. Catch you later, and until then, stay strange, everyone.